What's up, everybody? Welcome back to, I think this is day 4 of working on my house every day until I'm done with all of my renovations. All right, so yesterday I glued up all of these panels for that little column in my basement where I've been working on the last couple of days. I think we're going on 3 days now of working in my basement on the bar area. I put up a mural so far, I did the frame around the mural, and now today with all of these panels I glued up, I need to wrap the column that supports the countertop. This will be the face of that, one side, two sides, so I'm going to take everything out of the clamps and then kind of assess and go from there. I think I'll end up basically assembling everything together and sliding it on, but I'll talk about more about that when I get all of this out and we'll go back into the basement. Whoops. Everything is now cut to size, and I'm trying to decide whether or not I want to assemble it. I need to sand everything down first, and then do I want to assemble it and put the finish on as like one piece, or do I want to put it together on here and finish it in place? I'm leaning towards having it all assembled so that there's not as many like nails or fasteners showing, so I can put all of this together with some pocket holes on the inside. So I think that's what I'm going to do now. But the first thing I have to do is sand everything down so that it's ready for finish, and then I can finish it when it's all put together. And then I'll be able to just bring it down here, slide it into place, and should be good to go. So all the pieces are now prepped, ready to go, mostly cut to size. I'm going to have to make one more cut on this big panel, I think, after I get it assembled, because I want to know, basically I'm going to be able to describe the final line that I'll explain in a second. I need like a little bit of reveal because I'm going to be butting up this faux brick on the backsplash on the other side, which I'll show you probably in another video, but everything is good to go. Now I'm going to do all of the pocket holes and basically assemble this thing, and then I should be able to just slide it right in, and from that point on I'll just need to put some finish on this and the frame that I have down there and do final install, and should be all done. I'm going to be using this thing again to make the pocket holes. Alright, so that didn't exactly go to plan. As soon as I drilled into that with that pocket screw, which is always a potential issue, it cracked this. I think I was just too close to the end, and it split as soon as it went to go in there. It's very hard to pre-drill a pocket hole, so that can happen. So what I did is I put glue on the top of it and then used my vacuum to, you suck from the bottom, you put glue up top, put your vacuum hose on the bottom, like so, and then it'll pull that glue down into the crack, and then you just throw a clamp on it. So that will be fine, but I'm just gonna have to come up with a different solution rather than pocket holes. I think I'm gonna do some dominoes now and just clamp it and glue it that way, but that will have to be tomorrow. So didn't make very much progress today. You can't always plan for these things. Alright, so this whole video has been basically a complete disaster, and instead of ending it right there with basically nothing accomplished, I decided I'm going to put together a little, I'm not sure what stain color I'm going to use yet, so I'm going to put together some samples on this cutoff so that my wife can pick out which color she likes best. I've got Smoke 5%, which we used in the vanity that I built in our master bathroom, which looks awesome. I'll show you guys that someday, because I didn't make a video of it because it's kind of more of a passion project. Making these videos is very time consuming and makes projects much longer than they need to be. So we've got Smoke 5%, got Rubio Pure, which is kind of the gold standard, and then I'm going to try out this Rubio Black, which it doesn't make it's just probably the darkest complexion. It doesn't completely black it out. It's just a really dark tinted stain. So we're going to try these three, and then I'll be able to take this down into the basement and see which one we like best with the floors. So I'm going to give it a quick sand, vacuum it off, and then just lay down these three. Probably put some tape in between them. Yeah. If you've never used Rubio before, there's really no easier finish to apply, in my opinion. You literally just rub it on. Usually I wouldn't use basically a paper towel to apply it, but in this kind of circumstance I don't want to dirty a bunch of brushes or spreaders. You just liberally apply it. Work it into the grain, and then let it sit for 5-10 minutes. Come back and wipe it off. Pure really it's got a little bit of an amber to it, but it really tries to just maintain the beauty and like natural character of the wood. My personal favorite. Really just want to see how this black looks on walnut. Might be cool. I don't know. I don't like to take too much of the natural character of walnut away because it is my favorite species by far. So I like to keep it as natural as possible, but I want to see how this looks. Let that sit for about 5 minutes. These are just samples, so don't have to let them sit too long. Alright, it's been about 5 minutes, so now you just come back and kind of buff it off. I'm going to take off as much as possible, and I'll do a more in-depth application video when I finish the rest of the actual parts. So that's really all there is to it. I said, it doesn't get easier. If you're new to woodworking and you're nervous about, finishing a piece, this stuff is expensive, but for anyone who, isn't a pro at finishing things, even if you are, like this stuff, the time you save and how easy this is to apply is well worth it. And if you're new and you made your, first piece woodworking and you don't want to risk messing it up, this stuff is almost like impossible to mess up. So highly recommend it. Yeah, I really like that. I think that's going to look the best down there. I think this is going to be a little too cool. This has that nice warm tone to it, and we've got a lot of warm tones down in the basement with the brick and the wood floors that are already down there. So I'm interested in seeing. See, this did get really dark down here, but it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie, that looks pretty cool. That's my second favorite on here. I have to try that on something in the future because that looks pretty dang cool too. So yeah, not bad. What I'm going to do is wait for this to dry, make sure there's no drips or anything, and then I'll take it down into the basement, and me and my wife will decide which one we like best, and that's what we'll go with. But you'll have to come back tomorrow and I'll show you that, because I'm not going to take it down there tonight. So I feel a little bit better about this today because I've been meaning to do this. So it's, if you're ever unsure, definitely do some samples like this, because the last thing you want to do is, stain something you worked really hard on the wrong color and you don't like it. Always put together some sort of sample board. It takes, 10 minutes to do. Well worth it. But I'll see you tomorrow.